Imagine waking up before sunrise, walking into your maize field with hope, only to discover that your crops are smaller than last season. Your cattle are thinner. The rains came too late, stopped too early, and no one can predict the next season anymore. For millions of farmers across Sub-Saharan Africa, this is no longer a distant warning. It is becoming a reality. But what is driving these changes? Is climate change truly affecting African agriculture? Or is there more to the story? Our research set out to answer this question. Agriculture feeds millions of African families. It provides jobs, income, and food security. Yet Africa contributes only a small share of global greenhouse gas emissions while facing some of the greatest climate risks. To better understand these risks, we analyzed data from 48 sub-Saharan African countries spanning 1996 to 2021, examining how carbon dioxide emissions, renewable energy, technology, and governance relate to agricultural production. What we found challenges some common assumptions. The effects of climate change were not the same across all types of agriculture. Higher carbon dioxide emissions were associated with increases in the crop production index, a result that may partly reflect the so-called carbon fertilization effect under certain conditions. However, livestock production showed the opposite pattern, with higher carbon dioxide emissions linked to significant declines. This means climate change does not affect every agricultural system in the same way. Some crops may temporarily respond differently, but livestock remains highly vulnerable to heat stress, changing rainfall, and degraded grazing conditions. The study also found that technology, renewable energy, and access to productive land play important roles in agricultural performance, while institutional quality and policy implementation remain critical factors for long-term sustainability. This research is about more than numbers. It is about families wondering whether next season's harvest will feed their children. It is about young people deciding whether farming still offers a future. It is about governments investing in technologies that make agriculture more resilient. It is about researchers producing evidence that helps policymakers make better decisions. The choices made today: investing in innovation, strengthening institutions, expanding renewable energy, and supporting climate-resilient farming, will shape Africa's food systems for decades to come. Climate change is not simply an environmental issue. It is a food security issue. It is an economic issue. It is a development issue. Africa cannot control global emissions on its own, but it can strengthen its resilience through science, innovation, and effective policies. Every farmer protected, every sustainable technology adopted, and every evidence-based policy implemented brings us one step closer to a more food-secure and climate-resilient Africa. The future of African agriculture will depend not only on the climate, but also on the decisions we make today.